Every year, thousands of monarch butterflies undertake one of the most incredible and impressive migration journeys on the planet. Covering a distance of nearly 3,000 miles, the famous orange butterflies leave Canada, cross the United States, until finally reach the mountains of Mexico. Now, this natural spectacle is at risk of disappearing due to the alarming decline in the monarch butterfly population each year. The situation is so critical that in 2022, the insect was added to the red list of animals in imminent danger of extinction. Earth Echoes follows this colorful sky ballet to expose the main culprits threatening the life of this true queen of the winds. Before we dive in, take a moment to follow the page and like the content right now at the beginning of the video. As soon as the weather starts to cool in Canada, signaling the onset of autumn, monarch butterflies begin the greatest journey of their lives. They fly about 31 miles per day, passing through Southern California to the Oyamel forests in Mexico. The final destination is the Piedra Hirada Reserve in Michoacán, considered a true sanctuary for monarch butterflies. Since 2008, this place has been recognized by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve and a natural heritage of humanity. Between August and September, thousands of monarchs start their migration to reach Mexico by November, despite never having flown the route before. This is because the lifespan of these butterflies is very short, only about 2 months. It takes 3 to 4 generations of monarchs to complete the entire round trip. In other words, the great-grandmothers of the monarch butterfly start the migratory journeys, but it is their great-granddaughters that return home. While most insects hibernate in winter, monarchs are the only butterflies known to migrate like birds, fleeing the winter. They move away from the cold in search of more pleasant temperatures and only return to their original habitat the following spring. Their migration ability is directly related to the position of the sun, which provides an internal compass for the butterflies to travel south during the day. When the weather becomes cloudy, monarchs use the Earth's magnetic field as a compass to navigate and keep on the right track to their destination. In the United States, the monarch's trail includes 14 sites along the California coast, from Big Sur to Port Hueneme. Travelers can follow the impressive road trip of the butterflies, which dance among eucalyptus groves and Monterey cypress trees. At the Michoacán Reserve, the butterflies swarm at the top of the mountain, carpeting the ground and adorning tree branches with orange pendants. As tourists walk along the trails, the butterflies rise from their rest and resume their dance in the sky in a stunning ballet of synchronized acrobatics. Now, this impressive natural spectacle shows worrying signs of instability and massive declines in these unique butterflies' populations. In February 2024, the number of monarchs in the Mexican forests fell to the second lowest level in history, signaling a grim scenario. In the mid-1990s, butterflies could be found in about 45 acres of Mexican territory. Now, their presence has been reduced to just 2 acres. Researchers estimate that the population of monarchs in the western region, which migrate to the California coast, has dropped 99% over the past 40 years. Meanwhile, monarchs in the eastern region, famous for their long migration to Mexico, are at equal risk, with an 80% decrease in the last 4 decades. In the 1980s, the annual autumn count of monarch butterflies in the northern hemisphere documented the presence of up to 10 million monarch butterflies. In 2021, the same survey found only 30,000 insects of the species. Biologists blame higher than normal temperatures for the decline, along with drought in the areas where butterflies breed. Adverse weather, intensified by climate change, reduces the amount of milkweed, the only plant where the insect lays its eggs and the larvae feed. Environmental degradation and increased use of insecticides on milkweed plants are also cited as factors accentuating the decline of the butterflies. Serena Jepsen, director of the Endangered Species Program at Xerces, believes we are witnessing the collapse of the western monarchs. Rising global temperatures and subsequent wildfires threaten much of their habitat, causing food scarcity. Moreover, high carbon dioxide levels from constant wildfires in California increase the production of toxic steroids in milkweed plants. Monarch butterflies have evolved to withstand a certain level of this toxin, which creates a bitter taste in their bodies and can be lethal in large quantities. This characteristic naturally deterred predators, enchanted by their vibrant colors that warn of danger. Now, monarchs face more adversities along the way, having to contend with the advancement of humans into their territories. The inclusion of the monarch butterfly on the endangered species list is controversial, with reasons rooted directly in the political realm. In 2022, the International Union for Conservation of Nature's Red List declared the monarch at risk of extinction. The decision made headlines worldwide, highlighting the risk of losing such a beloved and popular species in the Americas. However, in 2023, the organization downgraded the species to vulnerable, a lower level in the risk classification system. This change came because farmers would face more regulations regarding pesticides and increased land exploitation rules. In Mexico, the problems extend beyond the political and economic sphere, involving public safety issues due to dozens of organized crime groups. These groups exploit the butterfly reserves and sanctuaries for illegal logging, supplying the national market and the United States. Environmental activists constantly report to Mexican authorities about the operations of these heavily armed groups in the Michoacán Reserve. Violence and lack of public safety deter visitors from the reserves, which rely on local tourism for survival. Homero Gomez Gonzalez became internationally known as the guardian of the butterflies after exposing the activities of militias and drug traffickers in the region. Alongside his son, Homero recorded numerous videos showing the arrival of migratory butterflies and the spectacle of their dances along the Mexican trails. The content also highlights the dangerous struggle of environmentalists in a region dominated by crime, with frequent threats and kidnappings to suppress reports. Unfortunately, this was Homero Gonzalez's fate, as he disappeared in January 2020 and was found dead 2 weeks later. Suspicions point to Mexican politicians being investigated for their direct involvement in illegal logging and distribution. Homero's story is documented in the film by director Emiliano Rupa de Fina, featuring testimonials from family, community members, and fellow activists. Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries for environmentalists, with 154 deaths recorded in the last decade, most occurring between 2017 and 2021. This intricate and deadly network directly impacts the survival of monarch butterflies, which fight to endure each season. The news of the monarch's disappearance has alarmed butterfly lovers, as they are one of the world's most popular and studied species. Well-intentioned but uninformed people have started buying monarch rearing kits online to raise them at home. Some even remove the caterpillars' chrysalises from nature to protect their development in home butterfly gardens. Experts, however, warn that these practices can spread parasites to wild monarchs. Recent initiatives have already shown negative results, producing individuals unable to fly properly. The loss of their purest and most fundamental characteristic is a reminder that the true beauty of butterflies lies in their freedom in nature. Monarch butterflies are a powerful symbol of resilience and perseverance due to their extraordinary life cycle and migration. They teach humans about the capacity for transformation, inspiring us to start anew and explore life with open wings. Earth Echoes will continue to follow the migration route of monarch butterflies, monitoring their populations and the perpetuation of this beloved species. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a comment on the subject. When was the last time you saw an orange butterfly? Don't forget to like and share the content. See you on the next trip.